exciting episode of WC Conversations. I'm here today with our Economic Development Officer at Wheatland County, Patrick Earle, and with Steve Grande, who is a broker for the Origin Business Park in the west side of our county. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you for having me.
Perfect. Hi, Steve. Maybe we could start, give a bit of an introduction, and then also tell us a little bit about a little overview of Origin and where it's located, and then some of the features of the park.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I've been the broker on record there for, well, gosh, on and off for about 6, 7, 8 years. I don't know. Sometimes it seems like forever. Sometimes it seems like just a day. I have my own brokerage, and it's me and an associate that work there, and we work a lot with landowners, land developers. We're really more branding ourselves as land promotion consultants these days than brokers, because what we do is we work with clients to help them to get through the stages of development. And work with the municipalities and just try to bring the value of land up and bring awareness to properties. So we've been doing a fair bit of work out at Origin for, probably the last 4 years, focusing, rebranding it, trying to come up with a different presentation on it. And yeah, it's pretty exciting, some of the possibilities that are coming forward. Origin Business Park is located right on the very edge of the western edge of Wheatland County, right on the Trans-Canada Highway. So it's where Wheatland meets Rocky View County, just south of the weigh scales on number 1. So it's got great visibility for anybody traveling across the country. With the truckers that come into the weigh scale, they can't help but look out their passenger side window and see Origin Business Park sitting right there. It's been going, I believe, since about 2007, but it took a long time to get it moving. I sold one of the first properties in there for my first go around, and it was for Athabasca Oil. They were looking for a site. It couldn't be in the city of Calgary, so it had to be a little bit further out. It had to already have the industrial land use in place, and they wanted to be able to drill a well to China. It's just, I forget how deep it is, but it's a really deep well, and it's a kind of an R&D site for them. And so that was my first exposure to at that time it was called Wheatland Industrial Park, and since then we've diversified a little bit.
Perfect. And so for its proximity to Calgary, would you say it's about 20 minutes from the Calgary city limits?
No, it's actually closer than that. I've driven it a number of times. I live actually between the edge of the city of Calgary and Origin Business Park. So this is kind of in my backyard. But from Stony Trail, which is the ring road that goes around Calgary, out to Origin Business Park, it's 13 minutes. There's only one stoplight. And so if you miss the stoplight, maybe it's a little less than 13 minutes. And that's doing the speed limit. That's 110 for most of it, and a little patch where it's about 80 by Chestermere.
Perfect. So it's quite close to Calgary. We also have the proximity, I guess, as well to the Calgary International Airport, and then also number 1, which is a high load corridor. Can you tell us a little bit about the current businesses that are located in the park?
Yeah, so there's, as I say, there's Athabasca Oil, which is really the first big one. There's an RV storage facility in there that has kind of been there from the beginning, and it's filled up over time. The newer stuff is the stuff that's is really kind of interesting. Wheatland Industrial Park at the time, Origin Business Park now, used to be the only place in the county where you could legally grow cannabis. And so we attracted the cannabis growers there. So there's one active business there right now. There are a couple more that are in the works as we speak. After that, we had a group called Midstream that moved out there, and they manufacture big fans for oil field, and it's a good location because not only is it on number 1, but you're just it's probably a mile, 2 miles away from number 9, which is a great shot if you're heading up to Fort McMurray. So a little bit of oil and gas activity there. The most recent addition is Pump Track. They sell pumps and distribute pumps to a number of different businesses. And the one that's coming out of the ground right now that we're really looking forward to is our fuel station. I should have clarified what sticker is going up on there. I know that at the top there's going to be a Burger King. So I've been told a number of times it's a Burger King, and I believe maybe it's a Shell, but it could be one of the other ones. But it's quite an impressive building. You go out there and I was shocked when I first saw it, and the roof is on already, and so they're expecting to be open in July or August of this year. So I think it'll have 2 or 3 quick service restaurants, Burger King being one, and some chicken place being another one, and some other things coming in there as well. And then one of the things that is being worked on right now is a combination, and I always have to laugh, and when the owner, one of the owners of the development sees this, he's gonna chastise me, but he loves Saab. So there's a Saab, I'll say it again, Saab museum going out there. These
Wow.
Swedish cars, and so one of the principals of the developers owns a lot of Saabs. He's going to bring them out there and open a museum as well as a parts distribution facility for Saab owners and dealers. So a lot of different things going on in the park. It's exciting, as I said.
Excellent. Could you tell us a little bit about kind of what services are available? I know the park is divided into lots, and businesses can follow up with you on availability. What kind of services are available in the park for businesses?
Yeah, so typically your industrial lots fall into 2 categories. There's your limited service and your full service lots. The difference being those deep services of water and wastewater. This park at this time does not have the deep services, and so the users that are in there are either pump in, pump out. They're using cisterns. Some of them have wells that they're drawing from and then pumping out their wastewater. We are working on trying to get a full water and wastewater service in there, but it's not there right now. But we do have the shallow services, so of course gas and electricity, three phase 400 amp power going in, available to the lots. We're also working on getting fiber in. We thought it was there. Somehow in the development of it, there was a slip up and it never got put in the ground. But I'm happy to say that we're really, really close right now to being able to get it. It's actually right on Highway 1, and we just need to jump through a few hurdles to be able to bring fiber internet into the park. And right now, I mean, most businesses are looking for that. They just want that kind of connectivity. It's got the storm ponds. The storm ponds handle the majority of the storm water, but depending on what you're doing on the lot, you may also have to have your own storm pond, small storm pond on your lot. And then of course we've got industrial standard roads in there. So the second lift in phase 1 just went on last summer. And so, you're not driving down gravel roads to get in there. This is a full industrial park.
Excellent. So speaking of those things, I mean, there's several advantages to locating in Origin versus in other areas in the vicinity. What do you think some of the advantages of being in Origin Business Park would be?
It's really amazing that we're not full already. When you look at the economics alone, it just people just shake their head and wonder why anybody would consider going other places. I suppose if you have a business that needs transit to get your employees there, this isn't going to be the place for you. If you are a heavy water user, this isn't going to be the place for you right now. But if you're starting up a business, I mean, if you've got something where you need 4 or 5 acres, the numbers are just they're just mind-boggling, right? So I mean, I put some numbers together in preparation for this call. If you bought a 5-acre parcel in Origin Business Park and you had to put a 1-acre storm pond on there, you'd have 4 net acres of industrial land, and that is going to cost you $920,000. Now it's going to cost you just over $1 million. If you wanted industrial land in Calgary, a 4-acre parcel, you're over, well, you're $2.8 million, because industrial land in Calgary kind of starts at about that $700,000 mark. And that's your capital cost. So let's say you bought those lots and then you put a 20,000 square foot building on it, very simple, $150 a square foot to build it. You're at another $3 million. So your capital cost difference between those two is $1.8 million. You get the same product, but it's $1.8 million cheaper to be in Origin. but then your property taxes are lower too. So, Calgary non-residential property tax is, just over 1.9%, and Wheatland County is just over 1.3%, I believe it is, 1.26%. And so for that same facility that I was just talking about, your property tax difference is $63,000 a year. Well, if you're a small business and you need 4 acres of land and, kind of mom and pop, or you got a few small employees, you're going to be saving $63,000 a year in operating costs and $1.8 million in capital costs. But the kick is you're 13 minutes outside the city. But here's the thing is if you're living in Northeast Calgary or even Northwest Calgary, I'll bet you that you can get to Origin Business Park faster than you can get down into the Foothills Industrial Park. Because 13 minutes, you don't get to go very far in traffic where you're, constantly at stoplights. So if somebody actually takes the drive and gets out there, they realize it's 13 minutes and a nice 13 minutes, right? I mean, you can listen to the Infinite WC podcast while you're driving out there, right? And it's good time to unwind and get out there and you're not fighting traffic all the way out. So it's an easy 13 minutes. And to me, it just makes sense. If somebody wants to start a business, Origin is the place to be, especially when the Burger King opens, right?
Yeah, that's interesting you mentioned that about the drive, Steve, because I've done that drive many times, and I can confirm what you said is true, that it is a very nice drive from the northwest of Calgary to Origin. There's very, very few traffic lights in there, and it's basically full highway speeds the whole way. So to go from the north of Calgary to the south of Calgary can take an hour or more in traffic on the Deerfoot. So, Patrick, did you have any questions on that for Steve?
Steve, I was just wondering on proximity to everything, like the location of Origin, the connectivity to Highway 24 to the U.S. border, or connectivity to Highway 2 through the ring road system in Calgary. There's aspects of that are great. So you can get to other markets, Lethbridge, etc. Obviously, Strathmore is minutes away on the other side, opposite Calgary. Do you see anybody looking to do a development, the access to labor minus the public transit aspect? There's just so many opportunities for a small business to pull from the region in pretty much every direction to for labor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can, like you say, you can live in Strathmore, you can live down in Langdon, you can live in Lyalta, Lakes of Muirfield, and in each one of those places, again, you're getting more bang for the buck for your home real estate than you are in the city of Calgary, right? You're not getting 25-foot lots in Lakes of Muirfield. You're in a fully serviced community. Again, it's on a golf course, just 3 minutes, 4 minutes from Origin Business Park. And so, if you've got, in fact, the owners of Pump Track are from Lyalta, from Lakes of Muirfield. And so it's really kind of a nice spot. If you want all of the benefits of being close to a major city, right? And you live out in this area, I like I say, I live in Chestermere. I try to go to Calgary as little as possible, but it's nice to have it there when you need whatever, because it's all there. But it's really nice to get back out of there. And so places like Lakes of Muirfield, where you can live there, you can have your industrial business just minutes away. It's hard to understand how it could be better.
Sure. Just to jump in there for a second for our viewers who may not be familiar with the Lakes of Muirfield, that's a new development, I believe, 700 homes, brand new homes that are built around a golf course. Just would it be about 15 minutes from Origin Business Park north?
I think if you're going really, really slow.
Okay.
5 minutes. 10 minutes.
Yeah. 5 minutes. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, so it's an advantage as well because there could be a potential source of labor as well in that area.
Yeah.
The residents moving into that park.
And you do have all
those
highways, right? I mean, it's you're on number 1, yes, but like you say, you've got 24 coming up on this side. You got 797 that turns into number 9 going here. A little bit further out, you got 21 going up. Down below, you've got Glenmore Trail. It's just it doesn't matter where you're coming from. It's easy to find a highway to get there.
Absolutely.
So Steve, is there any, with the businesses that are in the park now, do you see opportunities for another type of business to come in and provide support services or feedstock, distribution? Do you see any opportunities that people just, you can help connect the dots with a bit?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably not a whole lot of opportunity for synergy with the current users there. Like the current users aren't, looking for suppliers or whatnot. I mean, the one exception would be one of the new cannabis facilities that is, I think, going to start construction this year is more of the processing, and so they'll be looking to some of the producers that are there. So there could be some synergies there. But there's a lot owners association. We're having their first AGM, I think next week or the week after, and so those owners are starting to get to know each other, and that always helps, right?
Definitely.
Absolutely. Good. That's excellent information. So could you tell us a little bit about what's available in the park, sort of the costs, the lots that are currently available in this current phase of development that you have there?
Yeah. So there are two brokers that are active in the park right now. I represent the developer of the park. So we have there are two main phases right now. There's the east side and the west side. There's also some additional phases down south of phase two, but we'll just talk about first phase and second phase. In phase one, we are one lot away from being sold out. So we've got 1 5-acre parcel there. We have an 18-acre piece, but that's where the Saab Museum's going and some other potential things going in. So we're kind of reserving that. But this summer we're kicking in over into phase two. And so the pavement will go down. All of those lots are already subdivided. And so phase two will open up. The majority of the lots are 5 acres. We just found that's really the sweet spot. But we've always said, look, if you want something bigger or smaller, we can make that happen. We can subdivide together and give you what you're looking for. The lot prices start at $230 an acre. That's the list price on the south side. On the north side, which has your Durham Drive, which is your main industrial access on the south side, also has Highway 1 on the other side. Of course, you can't get onto Highway 1. It's not like somebody can, jump the back fence and, with their car and get onto Highway 1. You got to come down Durham Drive to get in. But the ones that are sandwiched between Durham Drive and Highway 1, we are listing those at $250 an acre. And again, you look at comparisons. So we're sitting at $230 an acre, $250 an acre for highway exposure at Origin, and 10 minutes away in Rocky View County, down in Janet, which is south of Highway 1, you're really looking at starting at about $500 an acre, probably $550 an acre, and then as soon as you cross the border and you go into the city of Calgary, you're $700 an acre for your land. Now that's fully serviced in the city of Calgary, but the reality is a lot of the businesses that would be moving into the park, the only reason they need water and wastewater is to fill up the coffee pot and flush the toilet, right? And so they're not huge water users, and so the cistern works they work just fine.
Right. Patrick, did you have any questions for Steve on that?
Well, and I'm wondering, Steve, with that highway frontage, like an industrial park with 4-lane highway frontage, with the drive traffic, especially between Strathmore and Calgary, because there's 15,000 people living in Strathmore. That highway frontage signage that advertise that element of that is pretty good. Like the gas station being developed now and everything's going to have total access to Highway 1 frontage, like Trans-Canada Highway, and at prices like that, it sounds like a great place to be, as opposed to some small medium industrial park somewhere in Calgary.
Yeah,
although
right.
Yeah, so that's a cool.
The exposure for traveling public is so much better. I talked about the property in Rocky View County that's south of Highway 1. You really have to almost intentionally drive by it in order to see it, because it is in an industrial park. Industrial parks tend to be more hubs, right? And unless you're driving through the park, you're not going to see it. This is a strip. This is a 2-mile strip across Highway 1. So everybody backing onto Highway 1 is going to have that opportunity to put their sign on the back of their building, and people will see it.
Absolutely. I think it's important to mention, as you did, that the tax rate in our county is also lower than in the city of Calgary. So not only are you saving on the original lot price, but you're also saving on the tax rate, the mill rate there. And then also we're quite connected to all the major transportation corridors. And in fact, I believe our county is actually closer to the U.S. border crossing than Calgary would be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got great potential.
Definitely.
Excellent. Do you have any other questions, Patrick, or?
I'm just I'm just excited to have you on today, Steve. Like it's
Absolutely.
it's great to get a little bit of a deep dive into Origin Business Park and just what the opportunities are there. So
Absolutely. No, I agree. I think it's one of our potential high growth spots in the county, if not the one of the highest, being so close to Calgary, and then also having all of the amenities and the transportation system there, right there. Steve, did you want to provide your contact details for our viewers who may be interested in looking for a lot in Origin or finding out more about it?
You can go to the website, originpark.ca. I should say that slower, originpark.ca. You can email me at steve@originpark.ca. Give me a shout drop a line at 587-600-1090. 587-600-1090. Best way is steve@originpark.ca.
Perfect. And for more information, to view more WC conversations or podcasts, you can go to infinitewc.ca. So infinite.wc.ca for more podcasts, and we'll be updating that regularly. Also, for any investment related questions, it's the same page. You can go in there, drop us a line. There's an email address in there as well as contact details, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
So just to clarify, there's no dot between Infinite and WC, right? It's just Infinite WC?
You're correct. It's infinitewc.ca. I flubbed that, unfortunately. And if you go to our property and data page on the same page, there will be information for different agents and properties that are available in other parts of the county as well.
definitely.
So,
and to follow us on our WC Conversations on YouTube, please subscribe, ring the bell, and also on the infinitewc.ca/media, you'll have links to our YouTube content, and our all of our YouTube is also streamed across podcasts. So be sure you visit that. And yes, thanks, Steve.
thank you, Steve. Thanks, Patrick.